In the chaos of motherhood, I feel like nothing's predictable, especially whether or not you're gonna have a good day. I guess outside of motherhood, but I just remember things going to plan a lot more previously. Anyways, I want to share with you guys the habits that I really try to enforce every day to help increase the probability of me having a good day. Because if I just let things go wild, I know for sure I will succumb to the chaos. But I found these few little changes have improved my mood throughout the day or my view of the day after the fact. And I've really just been wanting to get out of this mindset of keeping my head down, just in the grind, trying to make it to the weekend, because that's not, you know, the ideal way to live your life. And I'm more focusing on how to make the current moment better. You guys know I've spent this past year trying to figure out what I need to be my best self, trying to overcome my mental health struggles with postpartum and everything, and adapting to life with 2 kids. And one of the biggest factors that has helped me, you guys know, has been going to therapy. So some of these tips I did kind of pull from my therapist. So you're welcome. That's some free advice for you. As much as I'm hopeful that these tips can help you as well, some things do, in my opinion, need therapy to get through. And that's why I want to talk about BetterHelp today. I've talked about them many times. I'm such a huge advocate for therapy because I've seen it transform the lives of so many people in my life. I've seen the transformation in my own life, and for the most part, I can't see anyone who wouldn't benefit from it, whether it's just small day-to-day issues that you're looking to deal with or big weighted issues from your past, or a mixture of both. And I love that BetterHelp is so accessible to everyone. I know multiple people who use this program because they're not able to fit traditional therapy into their own lives. BetterHelp is so flexible that it can work for everyone. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more accessible and affordable, and it is an important mission because it can be so hard to find a therapist that works for you, let alone one that's in your area. They've streamlined the process of finding therapists with their online quiz, which is quick and easy, and at the end of it, you get paired up with someone. If it doesn't work out, if you're not vibing, you can always change at any time. I love how there's so many options of how to approach therapy, whether you want to take advantage of the texting, the phone calls, video calls, the group seminars. I feel like everyone that I know who goes to therapy approaches it in a different way, which is really interesting. And I love that BetterHelp is able to offer that. So whether you have a clinical health issue like depression or anxiety, or you're just a human going through the world having a hard time like I am often, therapy can help you approach life in a very different way. So if you're interested in trying out BetterHelp, make sure to check the link in my description. That's betterhelp.com/embersandash, and that will get you 10% off your first month. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get on to these practical daily habits to increase your chances of having a lovely day. The first thing, especially as a mother, is don't let a small bad moment ruin your whole day. I can very easily let this happen, as I'm sure other people do as well. I think I heard it in a podcast somewhere, that phrase of letting a small moment ruin your whole day, because the small moments can feel very impactful, really like stressful moments, but that doesn't mean you should give up on the whole day. And like I said, I've done it before where I'm like, okay, that's it for today, writing it off. We're not doing anything else fun or useful or productive. And it's just a shame to let that happen when there is, again, the rest of the day that can be fruitful for you. It is a hard mindset to shift away from, but yeah, just kind of giving up that giving up mindset. I don't know if all these are necessarily habits now that I'm thinking about it. Some of them might just be mindset shifts. The next habit, and this can be hard, especially as a busy mom, but that's to find time for something fun every day. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Like I have my one evening a week where I go out and I have a fun night. Can't do that every night, but just little moments like at nap time or after the kids have gone to bed, or even sometimes incorporating your kids into something that is fun for all of you, right? Or doing a fun thing with your partner. That's something I like to do as well. Like Josh and I love to play video games, play board games. Those are really fueling and can definitely help perk up a day that may have otherwise been going a little sour. The next thing is to, I know you hate hearing it, but limit your phone use. Don't get me wrong, I'm horrible at this. I'm embarrassed about my screen time, whatever it tells you, how many hours you're on your phone. And I've tried a lot of things. Usually they don't work very long. And so my tip for you, something that's been working for me, is instead of just like, okay, I'm gonna use this one method to limit my phone use, I use all of them, or as many as I know of, and I rotate through them. Because for me, the issue with just like using the limits function on your phone is it works at first and then you get used to it. So what I do is I use the limits function and then switch on to something else, like deleting the app that's the issue, Instagram. And then I'll also do the thing where you move it to another page on your phone so that it kind of catches you off guard, keeping your phone in a different area for a certain amount of time. Whatever methods you've tried or you've heard about, try just switching through them to keep it fresh, because otherwise you just get re-automated in the method to get the screen time you were craving. I do really think I would be a lot better of a person if I cut social media out completely, but I don't think I can do that. Next up is to get dressed every day. I know everyone says this, that it makes you feel better, but it legitimately does. And I don't think you need to get like fully dressed, fully ready to get the same benefits. Like I feel like you can still do it in a casual way where you put on a sweat set that makes you feel really cute and put together, or do your hair but still wearing, I don't know, maybe not PJs, but I like to stay casual most days unless I'm going out. And I found if I just get to put a bit of intention behind it to the point that I feel good, then that's all I need. Everyone's been talking about cold plunges lately, online and offline. I feel like everybody's been talking about it, and we also would love to have a cold plunge, but they're expensive and it's another maintenance thing that I don't even know how to maintain it. Anyways, what we've been doing is face bath cold plunges, which has been really refreshing. I don't know when you're supposed to do them, but I do it like after the kids go down to bed, and it really like rejuvenates me and gives me more energy for those last few hours of the day where you get, you know, freedom from the kids. And so often you can waste that time away because you're tired from the day, which is totally valid. But it's nice doing the face bath because it sparks me up, gives me a little jolt of inspiration of like, what do I want to do with the rest of the evening? I know there's also a bunch of health benefits. I don't know them specifically, but you get some, maybe not all the benefits that you would get from doing a full body cold plunge. And it's also just been a fun thing for Josh and I to do together and like see who can last the longest with your face in the water. I always lose because it's really cold. And also I have a fear of drowning, so it stresses me out. Anyways, that's been fun. I also have been loving acknowledging glimmers, or just like taking, I guess, yeah, acknowledging glimmers. Glimmer is a term I saw on Instagram. It's like the opposite of a trigger. So like a moment where you feel peace, happiness, calm, just like a beautiful moment. And I didn't know what to call them initially because I would feel them and I would try and take a picture of my like point of view. And it's a picture of nothing really, but it's to, again, acknowledge that good feeling. So an example could be like, the kids are still asleep, I've made my coffee and I'm drinking it and seeing the sunrise over the fall leaves. That's a glimmer if I ever saw one. So I try and like take a picture of my, like I said, point of view of the coffee. Anyways, those are glimmers. Gratitudes are another thing that I feel like everyone talks about, but Josh and I have been doing them for years, on and off. It's kind of sometimes hard to remember, but I know some people write them down, do their journals. Josh and I just tell them to each other throughout the day. One of us will remember, send a text, I guess that is writing it down, send a text to the other, and the other person will respond, or do it face to face. Anyways, I don't need to tell you the details, but acknowledging the gratitudes in your life does something for, I really should have like looked up the evidence of these things beforehand, but it does make you a happier person instead of just focusing on the things you don't have and working, like figuring out how to make your way to those things you don't have. Taking a second to see all that you do have. Like the other day, my gratitude to Josh was having a dining table. Before having kids, I always kind of pictured myself sitting at a dining table with our children having a meal. And that's so normal now because we do it every day. But especially in this day and age where like a lot of townhomes and condos are built without dining spaces and everyone eats at the island, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just because I've always envisioned meals at a dining table. I just am really grateful for that. Again, too much information, you didn't ask for that. The next habit, which is one that's kind of hard to plan for, but that is to laugh, schedule in laughter. Some days are not days for laughter, don't get me wrong, but most days you can find time to laugh. And I mean, it's good for the soul, what can you say? Especially laughing with your partner. I feel like that's the best way for me and Josh to reconnect, is finding something to laugh about. And lastly, you guys are probably not gonna like this one, especially for the last habit, but eating a relatively whole food diet that doesn't make you feel like crap. This is another one that's been a huge change for me over the past year. And don't get me wrong, I do eat junk food every once in a while. I do get fast food every once in a while for the convenience, but when I'm fueling my body with foods that don't give me a like glycemic crash, I'm obviously gonna feel better. I'm gonna have a better day. Just happier overall, right? Which I know is hard to do, easy to say, hard to do, but it has really helped me. So those are all the habits that I try to enforce. Obviously, some days they don't happen, but I feel like as long as I'm getting like 50% of them, then we're doing good. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know of any habits that you're doing to improve your days. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.